Irish fish chowder is gonna blow your socks off with explosive flavor from Grill Your Ass Off. Check it out.
All right, what you're gonna need to make this chowder, you're gonna need 4 to 5 Yukon Gold potatoes, diced after they've been peeled. You're gonna need 1 to 1.5 pounds white fish, whether cod, catfish, haddock, anything like that. 1.5 to 2 cups heavy whipping cream, milk, or half and half, depending on how thick you want your chowder to be. 1 whole onion, diced. 2 to 3 carrots, diced. 2 to 3 celery sticks, diced. Approximately 1 cup of each. And then you're gonna need about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup bacon bits if you're not gonna adhere to Lent. 2 to 3 garlic cloves, diced, minced. You're gonna need a stick of butter. We got some Éiregold here, some fresh parsley, 2 teaspoons of thyme, and you're gonna need approximately 4 cups of either chicken broth or vegetable broth, depending on what you're practicing. And then we're gonna be using Platoon Sergeant, salt, pepper, garlic, and gunpowder steak and brisket seasoning. Both of these from Grill Your Ass Off. Check them out. Go to the website, grab some, grillyourassoff.com/mychowline. Get some today. All right, let's get into how we prep all this stuff. We're gonna first start with our fish. All right, we're gonna take our fish and we're going to slice it up into small 3/4 inch to 1 inch squares, bite-sized pieces. These have been patted dry, and then we're going to take and season with gunpowder. You'll want to do this before you start any other steps other than maybe doing your prepping all your veg, dicing up your veg, because the charcoal, activated charcoal that's in this will turn things black. It turns this fish black, but if you don't let it set and you throw it straight in your chowder, it will turn your chowder gray and it won't look appetizing. So at least by doing this, it adheres to the fish, and only the fish looks black. And then we're going to set it on this drying rack so that way as it sweats, it will drain any excess moisture off, because we want as little moisture on these as possible, because we want them to stay nice and firm when they cook without getting mushy. Even though I've dried these are already got a lot of moisture coming out of them still. These were frozen, they're not fresh, so they have all that moisture from the freezing process draining out. And there you have it. There's our fish, diced up, seasoned up. This is approximately 1.5 to almost 2 pounds of fish. You can use catfish nuggets, cod, haddock. You know, we're in the South, so catfish is very common around here, especially big catfish. And if you have lots of nuggets, man, this would be perfect for using that. Anyway, let's get into this, set this in the fridge and let this rest, and we'll start on the rest of our stuff. All right, in our Dutch oven here, it's about a 5 to 6 quart Dutch oven. We're going to take and put in 4 tablespoons of butter. We're using Éiregold, half a stick of butter. We got it on medium heat. Now since this pan was recently used, it was seasoned up well with some beef tallow oil. You want to make sure, if you're adhering for Lent, you want to make sure you're using either like vegetable oil, peanut oil. I stick away from vegetable oil, I stick with peanut oil, or a dry pan and use the butter to coat the pan really well. Maybe use a little bit extra butter. But we're going to let this melt down, and then we'll get ready to add our mise en place. All right, our butter is melted. We're going to take our 1 onion, two to 3 carrots, 2 to 3 celery, and then our 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. And we're going to saute this down so everything is soft and translucent. You get as much of that moisture out of it as we can. Soften those carrots up. All right, we've got this reduced down, cooked down. Now we're going to start adding our other stuff. We're going to add our potatoes, our thyme, a little bit of Platoon Sergeant, a couple of good dashes, and our broth. We're going to let that cook, stir it and cook it till the potatoes are fork tender, but still firm, without going all the way through and doesn't mash it. Now we're going to get ready to add our fish and our cream. 1.5 to 2 cups heavy whipping cream, bacon bits, and now our fish. All right, now we're going to let this simmer until that fish is cooked. All right, so we've got our chowder here simmering a little bit, and our fish is done. You start to see it where it starts to separate and flake up. Some pieces are already flaking off. It means we're good. So now we're just going to let this, pull it off the heat and let it set. And we can let it go a little further and let it reduce down some and get a little thicker if we want it, but I think we're at the right consistency right here. Almost a little soupy, but still closer to a chowder. All right, now we've got our Irish fish chowder here. Got a little Irish whiskey. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Get a little Irish on. All right, we got our chowder here seasoned up with gunpowder and a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic. Get a taste in here. Oh wow. The fish is nice and soft. Holds its shape, but then it like just melts. And then the potatoes, sweet and buttery. Got a little salty, a little peppery. Man, a little garlic, I can taste the garlic in it. Creamy. I mean, you need something for Lent, you need something for a nice warm belly. This will do it. Irish fish chowder, grill your ass off seasonings, gunpowder, Platoon Sergeant. Get you some. Go to grillyourassoff.com/mychowline. Get some today. This is super good. You need to try this. Hey, if it's Lent, you got something to do, just leave the bacon out. You and use vegetable stock instead of chicken stock. But man, if you want to do something for St. Patrick's Day, this is another good Irish dish. Another way to eat fish. Check it out. It's really good. Cheers, guys. Like, share, and subscribe.